There's one simple tool everyone uses now that is turning them into a productivity machine, and that tool is AI. But today we're talking about the most popular AI, ChatGPT. Whether you want to work smarter, boost your productivity, or just stay ahead of the competition, you absolutely must master ChatGPT. Without it, you'll fall behind and be overwhelmed by tasks that someone else is automating effortlessly. This new AI-fueled high level of productivity is going to become the norm, and if you don't adopt it, then you're going to be stuck and left in the dust. If I had to sum up what ChatGPT is in one simple layman's term sentence, it's this. ChatGPT is everything you need to turn hours of work into minutes. And yes, while that might sound like typical tech hype, the truth is, without knowing how to use tools like ChatGPT to their fullest extent, you're just wasting time, energy, and opportunities every single day. Now, I'm not a code bro, I'm not a tech genius, and I didn't have an AI startup in Silicon Valley. At least not yet. And honestly, I'm not even particularly clever. I'm simply really good at one thing, using ChatGPT and tools like it to their fullest extent, and then helping others do the same. Every piece of content I've created, every marketing piece I've improved, all the workflows I've streamlined, all comes down to how effectively I've used this one tool. The point of this video is simply to get you a very good foundational base understanding of ChatGPT and all of its features. You will leave with a better understanding of ChatGPT than most people, which means you can use it better than most people. And well, the benefits to that are immeasurable. You'll see what I mean. I like to think I'm not the typical AI influencer. I just help people get actual, measurable outcomes from ChatGPT without needing to be some insane workflow designer, master coder person. And the faster that you realize mastering ChatGPT isn't all about tech skills, and that a lot of it just boils down to clarity and simplicity, the faster you can start reaping the rewards. In this video, we are going to cover why you should spend time learning ChatGPT instead of Google's Gemini, Anthropic's Claude, Grok, DeepSeek, or what have you. How to prompt AI and ChatGPT properly, the differences of the many ChatGPT models, what GPTs are, explaining all of the tools in the prompt bar and what they do, how to properly organize all of your chats, and a run through of the settings ChatGPT offers. And I'm not gonna lie, it might seem overwhelming at first, but in a few minutes, you'll start to see how to effectively use all that ChatGPT has to offer. Okay, so first off, why the fuck would you stick with ChatGPT? I mean, look at all the other models and updates and versions and companies coming out with their own AI and features. Well, let's get into the weeds of the numbers and statistics here. ChatGPT didn't just join the AI race. It kickstarted the AI boom back in November 2022, becoming the fastest growing consumer app ever by hitting 100 million monthly users within the first 2 months. And today it is dominating the AI assistant market with over 400 million weekly active users and 62.5% market share. Compared to Google's Gemini, despite being pre-installed on Android devices, may I add, trails behind significantly with just 35 million weekly users and about 13.5% market share. On top of all that, OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT for those who don't know, just secured, or in the past secured, $40 billion at a 300 billion valuation from heavyweights like Microsoft and Nvidia. And honestly, I'm just going to keep reading some to you. OpenAI's revenue is already at $10 billion per year, with major players like the Pentagon betting $200 million contracts on its future. And the retention is off the charts. 89% of ChatGPT users are still around after 3 months, 74% after 9 months. Oh, and of course, the newest meme man entering the ring with Elon Musk, the pessimistic, optimistic, doomsday AI lover, CEO of OpenAI, Sam Altman, is running the company. Sam Altman is steering this rocket, keeping ChatGPT front and center. At this point, it might even be fair to say that all companies will be playing catch up with OpenAI from here on out. And yes, some will come out on top for a bit, like Google Veo's 3 is better than Sora right now, until ChatGPT launches its next update. And you've got to understand that this AI race is just a buzzword way of saying industry competition. And it is because it's humanity's most advanced tool yet that is exponentially increasing, and it seems like a new AI is out on top every other day, and that's because sometimes it literally is. But in my opinion, overall, unless OpenAI AI becomes like BlackBerry when it comes to the smartphone race, then I just see ChatGPT coming out on top as the most popular, widely used AI, kind of like Apple is with iPhones and smartphones. But at the very least, I suppose runner up or third place. But definitely top three, probably number one, given enough time. So that's my argument for why you should stick with ChatGPT instead of other AIs and understand how to use it. Okay, on to prompting. Prompting in ChatGPT is simply the instructions or questions that you type into the prompt bar to tell ChatGPT what to do. The clearer your instructions or prompts, the more accurate and better result you'll get back. And now that I've hopefully nudged your bias towards ChatGPT, let's get into how to prompt the right way. Yeah, about that, there's no right way. And a lot of these AI influencers and gurus are going to say there is a right way. And hey, it's a good hook, but that's all it really is. And yes, while some of those gurus might sell you on a certain prompt formula, like the 6-part prompt formula, which is simply putting in persona plus task plus constraints plus context plus examples plus chain of thought equals the best result. All right, this is ChatGPT 101. Well, basically, that prompt formula in layman's terms is this. You write out who it should be, what you want it to do, why or just the background, the format, length, and tone, some examples of do it like this, your step-by-step reasoning and thought process, and all of that combined equals the output that you want. So while you will be given must-use formulas like that, the reality of prompting is this. There is no perfect formula. Just tell it what you want it to do and explain it or instruct it more than you think you have to. Anything else you hear is just a fancy way of saying that. And as AI models improve and get better at understanding prompts, these formulas will become less mainstream and important. Oh, and to help with prompting as well, just write a lot of prompts and test and experiment with different ones. I once asked ChatGPT to tell me how many prompts it thinks I've sent it based on my use case since around launch, and it said about 40 to 60,000 prompts. Now, honestly, I have no idea if it's more than that or less, but 40 to 60,000? So like most things, it takes the reps to get good at something. And honestly, that's all you need to know about prompting. Obviously, you click the prompt bar and you type in your prompt. But other than that, that's it. And obviously, it's good to know these prompt formulas. I'm not knocking them per se. I'm just saying they aren't mandatory. Like there's a whole bunch of them, like RTF, COT, race, auto, mat, and spear, for example. But for now, just put in the reps and prompt a shit ton. Try a large variety of different kinds of prompts. And remember my little rule of just tell it what you want it to do and instruct it more than you think you have to. Okay, on to models. We've got ChatGPT 4.0, 03, 03 Pro, 04 Mini, 04 Mini High, GPT 4.5, GPT 4.1, GPT 4.1 Mini. And that's it. All these models to choose from, but how do you choose properly? Well, as you can see here, ChatGPT gives little explanations for each prompt, and you can also search up OpenAI models and get some longer explanations, which you could spend the time reading and understanding, but to just save you time, I'm going to give you my best and simplest explanation of each model. ChatGPT 4.0 is the best all-around model for everyday tasks like text, images, and audio. GPT 4.5, my personal favorite, is best for creative writing, natural conversations, and just creative thinking and brainstorming. GPT 4.1 and 4. Mini, honestly, I don't really use much, but GPT 4.1 is best for precise coding and clear instructions. 4.1 Mini is a fast, efficient option for quick tasks or basic coding. Their 03 model is strong at detailed analysis of complex problems, like really complex coding, math, science, or visuals. 03 Pro is just an enhanced 03 with advanced image handling and detailed reasoning capabilities. 04 Mini is a quick, effective model for logic and math. 04 Mini Visual is basically the same, just focus on quickly handling visual tasks. So even that was a bit complex, so here's how I use them. I use 03 for big, complex tasks, 4.5 for copywriting, creative writing, and brainstorming, 03 Pro for intense, detailed prompts and information, 04 Mini for quick answers, 04 Mini Visual for quick visual help and answers. And like I said, I just haven't really touched 4.1 much at all. Not really a big coding guy. And if you're paying for ChatGPT, whether Plus or Pro, which by the way, as you can see here, got a little Pro next to my name, subtle flex. No, that actually costs a ridiculous amount and probably only going to use that for a little bit longer, but man, is it good. But look, if you're paying for ChatGPT Plus or Pro, and you're not using all these models and switching out between them and just don't even know about them, then you're wasting money. That's like getting something from IKEA and having to set it all up and having your nice fancy toolkit next to you with the automatic screwdriver and all these things, and instead grabbing the little Allen wrench or the little traditional screwdriver that it provides for you. You've got the better, faster, unique, tailored tools right there, but you're just sticking with the basic version, in this case 4.0. So if you're paying, you have no excuse now. Now you know the differences in the models and how to use them, so make sure you are using them. Okay, now as you see in the left chat bar, it says GPTs. So what are GPTs? Well, go and explore them. So to simply explain them, they are custom versions of ChatGPT. Think of them like your average prompt, just with specific instructions and tailored to certain tasks, like certain chats given steroids, basically. You take the power of ChatGPT, sprinkle in some special instructions, certain skills, a certain focus, and you get a GPT. So if you want some lightning fast research on millions of academic works, then you can use SciSpace. If you need a lot of help with math and instant computation and data, then Wolfram will be your best friend. Want some help making some cool videos? Then you have Video GPT by Veed. Or just anything design-wise, you have Canva that you can integrate. And as you can see, these are just the featured ones. There is a whole bunch out there for you to use. I'll tell you one of my personal favorites. It's called Learn Anything by Puzzle Today, and you can ask whatever question you have on whatever topic that you want to learn, and then it gives you 3 experts on that topic, different experts, that converse and banter, and you get 3 different point of views, and they teach you in their best way each, and then you get that combined view of all 3 of them. It's amazing. And there are ways to create your own GPTs. As you can see in the top right, it says create, and you can go through that whole process. But if you just want a kind of GPT version, but just for you, then you can go into custom instructions in projects or in the settings. And then you can tailor ChatGPT to help answer your chats in the best way that you want. This is very helpful for certain tasks and to make sure it is consistent in how it answers you, and you can tweak it in whatever way, and we'll get into that a bit more later. Just think of custom instructions and projects as your AI's memory bank and filing cabinet, letting you just work more organized, smarter, and faster without being repetitive about the same questions, context, and tasks. Okay, now let's tackle the toolbar. As you will see, most of this stuff is very clearly explained, and you just gotta test it and you know how to use it, but I'll still run through it quick for you. So the prompt bar is where everything actually happens in ChatGPT. So let's look at these tools. You have create an image to turn your text into whatever visuals you want. You have search the web, which is just literally searches the entire web for whatever you want, like Google would on your own, but it does it for you and gets you what you want. You have write or code, which you guessed it, is for writing or coding. And then you have run deep research, which is an amazing feature that gives you a very thorough, in-depth review, analysis, and research of whatever you want. Then you have the plus bar here, which you can now connect your Google Drive, your Microsoft OneDrive, and many other apps. And then that plus icon, you're going to be using a bunch for adding photos and files, which it can read and help you with. It lets you add most kinds of documents and PDFs. It really likes TXT files, and obviously photos it can analyze and look at and read. So yeah, just send it whatever you want, and that can be really good for examples and to help with what you're prompting. Obviously, we've got this little dictate microphone over here, which is just the normal voice to text feature that you have on iMessage. And then you have voice mode, which is a freakishly realistic voice AI version. Think like the movie Her, if you've seen that. So you can take a break from typing, use the voice feature, and just talk to ChatGPT, which is actually really useful, and I use it more than I think I would. And on the app, I don't think it's on desktop yet. You get the video feature, so you can literally show it things, and it'll see them in real time. And there's also a screen recording feature, so it can walk you through whatever. And you can tailor that voice to whatever you want. I personally use Soul. Oh, and if I type in hello here, you'll see that that voice thing turned into an arrow, which means send. So obviously if you click that, it'll send the message, and hitting enter on your keyboard will also sometimes send it, so Shift Enter will become your new best friend when spacing out and organizing your prompts and whatever you type. It's worth noting that the prompt measures in this thing called tokens. Free users get about 4,000 tokens per chat, which is about 3,000 words, which is enough for most conversations and tasks. Some of the file types that you can add and that it supports are PDFs, docs, PowerPoints, JPEGs, PNG, and those are the main ones. I'm sure there's many more, but those are the main ones I use a lot. And video uploads are not supported yet. One day they will be, and it'll be beautiful. So just get transcripts if you can for videos. So that's the prompt bar for ChatGPT. Okay, 2 more to go. Stay with me. You're almost an advanced user. Oh, only if you actually apply what you learn here. Okay, this one is for my OCD people. Organization. When you start using ChatGPT a bunch, which eventually you will, it'll become like Google is, or I guess was, and things are gonna get chaotic in your chat bar, and you're gonna want to organize them and have that all laid out for easy reference and going back to things and all of that. So let's dive in. If you're working on whatever chat and you think, you know what, I probably will go back to this tomorrow or another time or want to reference it, then go over to that, refresh your page, then go over to that chat and rename it. Rename those chats and use keywords that you will remember. Simple stuff. Don't make it complicated for yourself. So when you type it back in, you're like, yeah, that's a word I'll definitely search up, and it'll pop up immediately. Also, if you're doing a lot of work, say on marketing, and it's all marketing focused on a certain company, turn it into a project. Title that project well. Then you can add your project files in here. You can tailor it to certain tasks for that marketing topic, and the chats will reference each other and the project files and the instructions, and it'll be all nicely organized for you. Or say you're in uni and you have a certain class, you make a project per class. And then you put all your syllabus and files and everything in the project files. And, you know, I'm really helping you guys out here with this, but we'll get into that maybe another time. And that's really it for organization. Just view your projects like dedicated workspaces for long-term efforts. I would say about 90% of my work I do on ChatGPT is within all of my projects. I'm just checking, but I'm pretty sure, unfortunately, to get the full extent of projects, you'll want the Plus or Pro plans. I think free plans, your access is limited. Just another reason to maybe cancel that Netflix subscription and get ChatGPT Plus, or maybe if you're feeling really frisky, Pro. All right, so just organize your shit, rename your chats, set up projects, put your chats in there, do most of your works within the projects. Your future self will love you later for it. Please do this. Trust me, it'll make your life with ChatGPT so much easier. Okay, lastly, let's look at the settings in ChatGPT, give you the quick overview, and that'll be that. So if you click your little profile picture and hit settings, you have a lot of options here. Most of these are self-explanatory. So you got custom instructions here, 2 fields where you tell ChatGPT who you are, bio and preferences and all that, and how you want it to respond, so tone and style. And like I said earlier, this saves you from repeating details every single chat, and it adapts and replies to you automatically. You're gonna want to make sure all this memory stuff is on, because it's gonna just start remembering a bunch, like nuances in certain chats and topics and some things you keep bringing up, and it's quite handy. There's some standard privacy and data controls in here. There's some appearance and interface setup stuff, and then connectors is pretty useful. You can put in your Gmail or your Outlook email or SharePoint or Google Drive or Dropbox, and it can pull from these things. So very useful. That one's pretty new. But yeah, just go through these and check out what you want to change or not. I leave most of this as is, and if I do anything, I add to it. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, after sharing all of that, even I feel a bit overwhelmed. But it's a YouTube video, so you can always go back and watch parts again and review it and understand it better. But here you are, and congrats. I'd say you are that much closer to becoming what I would say is an advanced ChatGPT user. Knowing just this basic foundational stuff puts you leagues above your average AI user. And yes, it should go without saying, this will obviously help you if you, God knows what reason, decide to try another AI model, which you can do if you want. But trust me when I say you'll come groveling back to ChatGPT with your tail tucked between your legs. Okay, so I said you're almost what I would consider an advanced ChatGPT user now. So what would make you advanced? Well, to get you to that mark, you just need to learn and know a bit more. you need more experience with ChatGPT and just to know more about it and AI overall. So if you want to know a bit more, there will be a link in the description. It's 30 days of 30 ChatGPT insights and wisdom written by yours truly, and it's free. It's just a short read each day, and it'll help you reach that advanced level, I would say, if you completely finish those 30 days. So check that out if you're interested. Whew, okay. Well, thanks for staying around. I am sure you learned a lot. And by chance, if you end up scrolling on my YouTube channel, you'll see a lot of videos that aren't really AI based at all. That's because I pivoted to be a more AI influencer, I guess. So if you want to understand why I pivoted, then you can check out this video here. And in that video, I also tell you my entire long-term plan for what I'm doing with this AI content. So you're welcome. All right, I'm going to grub. Peace.